extra, extra, extra. Read all about it. Hi there.
Test.
Yeah, Yeah, that's good. Do it again.
Testing.
There we go. Okay, you're
Testing.
good. You're good. You're good.
Hello.
Do 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 do. Doodly do 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 do. Okay. 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 Hi again, everybody. It's week 5 in the high school football season in the state of Michigan, and lo and behold, all anybody wants to talk about is how hot it is. This is the hottest week 5 we've had in anybody's memory. It is just amazing. In fact, the heat tonight, more accurately said, the heat index tonight has caused several schools, including Holland Christian, to delay the beginning of the ball game until 7:30. So we will be kicking off at about 7:30 this evening, just give or take 10 minutes from now. And a couple of other, or at least one other result of the heat is that there will be extra stoppages in the game, and the length between at least the first and the second quarter will be expanded from 1 minute to 2 minutes. So pull up a chair, get comfortable. We are going to be together for a while this evening. Holland Christian plays kind of lengthy games anyway because of their style. And tonight, it might be even a little bit longer just because of the weather. Well, tonight, the Maroons entertain the undefeated Chicks from Zeeland East, and it's homecoming for the Maroons. The Chicks appear to be a very strong team this year. Some are saying as strong as the 2010 team that lost in a memorable Round 3 regional game to East Grand Rapids on a controversial call that didn't go their way on the last play of the game. The Chicks program dates back to 1950. They have an overall winning percentage of .542. Things changed, of course, in 2005 with the split of the two Zeeland high schools, the Chicks from Zeeland East and the Ducks for Zeeland West. For comparison's sake, the Chicks' winning percentage since 2005 is even better. Well, no, it's just a little bit worse than it is overall. They're down to .525 as opposed to that .542 overall since 1950. The Chicks have made the playoffs 6 of the past 9 years. Last year, they lost to Byron Center 45-6 in round 1 after a 6-3 regular season. They didn't make the playoffs for an 18-year stretch from 1992 to 2009. But back to the Chicks of 2017, they're averaging a whopping 44 points a game while giving up only 8. So far this season, the Chicks and the Maroons have one common opponent in Hamilton. Zeeland East beat the Hawkeyes 49-0 in week 3. The Maroons beat the Hawkeyes 48-32 in week 4. That would seem to indicate that the two offenses we'll see tonight are similar in strength, but the Chicks have the distinct advantage on the defensive side of the ball. So that's the story from Zeeland East. Now with a look at Holland Christian season thus far, here's Scott.
All right, thank you. Holland Christian is 2-2 so far this year in the 2017 season. They have wins over Forest Hills Eastern and Hamilton in weeks 2 and 4. Looking back to last week, the win over Hamilton, Wilson Wirebaugh was 13 of 17 for 316 yards, played a great game. He already has 1,134 yards passing on the season. Wilson also leads the team in rushing and has since the first week of the season. He had 53 yards versus Hamilton last week and has rushed for 191 yards on the season so far. Schaub is the second leading rusher on the team. He had 34 yards against Hamilton and now has 49 yards on the season. Last week in the win over Hamilton, Van Eerden also chipped in with 19 yards rushing. Leading the team in the receiving is Brady Howe. He had a huge game last week, 7 receptions for 223 yards. He now has 523 yards receiving on this season. Will Van Weeren is the second leading receiver for the Maroons this year. Last week he caught 5 balls for 94 yards and has 476 yards receiving on the season. Brady Howe, who seems to be Mr. Everywhere most games, also is leading the Maroons with 30 tackles this season. Josh DeVries is second with 29 tackles. Holland Christian is 4-6 all-time versus Zeeland East, but the Chicks have won the last 6 matchups.
Alrighty. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Looking for an exciting game here, probably a high-scoring game tonight between the Maroons and the Chicks.
A great representation of fans from Zeeland East across the way. Grateful for the fact that by the time you get to the third week of September, the sun is down by this time of the night. That was also the thinking behind delaying the start of tonight's game as the homecoming crowd gets to their feet and applauds the entrance of the Holland Christian Maroons. We'll be talking about concessions to the Heat all night long. One that we can see right away is the Maroons are wearing their home maroon jerseys, but they're wearing the white pants. And I think just in an effort to keep a little bit cooler, white reflects heat. Maroon absorbs it, of course. So they've got the home tops, but the road breeches on for tonight. Zeeland East in their road whites, head to foot, trimmed, of course, in brown and gold. They got the gold helmets and the brown numerals. So Zeeland East undefeated at 4-0. Holland Christian coming in at 2-2. The entire field, all of the patrons are in shade. And as we get a chance every once in a while to step out of the press box here at Holland Christian, honestly, to sit and watch a football game, it's not too bad tonight if you don't have to get too, what's the word I'm looking for, excited or too physical about what you're doing is way of exercise. Football players, of course, will be hot. That's just a given, as will the officials. But as we said, we will have extra water breaks built in to the way this game is timed out by the officials here tonight. And somebody went and got us a nice big fan. Thank you very much. Makes it livable in here. Thanks, Danny. And right now, let's turn things over to public address announcer Dick Bauman.
All of the volunteers who contributed to making this homecoming night possible. This game is a privilege and was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedom we enjoy. Please rise and honor America as the Holland Christian Pep Band leads us in the playing and singing of our national anthem.
Christian Pep Band braving the heat with our national anthem tonight. We will remind you before we get started, if you'd like to communicate with us here in the press box at Holland Christian, you can do so through your Twitter account. We are at The Pledge Sports, and we'll keep an eye. Let me rephrase that. Scott will keep an eye on our Twitter feed tonight, and if you have any questions for us, we'll try and answer them throughout the course of this broadcast. We also welcome you who might be watching this game tonight through Holland Christian's YouTube Live subscription. We welcome you as well, and we thank them for the opportunity of sharing this broadcast tonight. So, buddy, we can't make any mistakes tonight because it's going to be on video. So.
We can do that.
Yeah, well, you can. I'm not so sure I can. But at any rate, we can tell you that Holland Christian won the toss, or rather, I'm sorry, Zeeland East won the toss and deferred. So Holland Christian will receive. It'll be Jacob Schaub going back to receive along with Brady Howe. So Schaub and Howe are back deep. And it's Zach DeGraff to put the right foot into it and get this one underway. This is a long, deep kick. It will come down in the end zone. Automatic touchback, and the Maroons will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line to get this one underway on offense. The offense has been the story for on that side of the football, led by quarterback Wilson Weyerbaugh in his junior season here at Holland Christian. So Weyerbaugh gets the play from first-year coach Chris Myers, relays it to his teammates, and we're ready to go. This will be Ben Slink, split wide to the left, 2 slot receivers left, 1 split out to the right, no running backs, empty backfield. Zeeland, 8 men in the box, quick throw out to the left side for Howe, and Howe will get it up to the 24. Gain of 4, tackled there by number 5, Dan Kramer, for Zeeland East. Yeah,
Great call there by Weyerbaugh. Good read to he had a defender blitzing right up the middle at him, and he got rid of it quickly.
Actually mark it at the 24, so 2nd and 6 for Holland Christian. Now we have a running back in the game for the Maroons, stationed to Weyerbaugh's right. He tries the hard count. A couple of the guys in the linebacker position for East flinched, but that's all. Cam Van Eerden in at running back to start this one. He'll block as Weyerbaugh wants to throw, gets away from a would-be tackler, and runs it out of bounds at about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. See where they'll mark it. Looks like maybe minimal gain, if any. Where are they going to put it down? Yeah, he gained the length of the football, still the 24-yard line. So it's now 3rd and 6. I think it's notable that Cam Van Eerden is in at running back. It's been either Hoekstra or Schaub back there with Weyerbaugh. Now Hoekstra checks in. Will Van Weeren slot right. And Evan Cruzy is the wide receiver on the right. Put Van Eerden in motion, and Weyerbaugh lets it go over the head. Almost intercepted. That one in and out of the hands of Kanan Bain, right, number 3? So Kanan Bain just about intercepted that attempt from Weyerbaugh for his intended receiver, and now Brady Howe's going to come in and kick it away for Holland Christian on a 4th and 6 from their own 24. Single receiver deep for the Chicks is Kobe Heisinger. Long count for Howe, and it's a fake, and that didn't work. So the Maroons are going to turn it over deep in their own territory. Ethan Brinks took the short snap and punched his way out for about 2 yards, but he needed 6. So Adam Berghorst and company stifle the fake punt, and Zeeland East will take over at the Maroon 27-yard line. That would be the definition of good field position. And we have a flag already, illegal substitution, Zeeland East. So before they could get a playoff, they get penalized. They'll back them up 5 to the 32-yard line. And now the Chicks will look at 1st and 15.
One play too late there for the Maroons, or that would have given them a 1st down.
Josh Fusco, a senior in the backfield for the Chicks. Keegan Ensing is the quarterback, and in motion goes middle, big yardage to the 15, and finally tripped up at about the 12-yard line by Noah Hoekstra for Holland Christian. So Ensing running it straight up the middle after the fake to Fusco. Gets big yards down to the 11-yard line. That is a 21-yard pickup for Ensing, the quarterback.
Ensing and Taylor have been sharing some time at the QB position this year. Interesting to see Ensing starting this game here tonight against the Maroons.
So he's got Fusco to his left. Spread formation, very much like Holland Christian's. Put your right left end and marches into the end zone. From 11 yards out, Gabe Taylor on a handoff from Ensing runs it in, and the Chicks lead 6-0 after running 2 offensive plays. So the Chicks will line up for the 2-point conversion. The holder is Gabe Taylor. Kicker is Will Binder, number 76. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So, with 10:29 left in the first period, Zeeland East on an 11-yard running play takes the lead by a score of 7-0.
In sports, lots of training goes on behind the scenes. Hard work and conditioning that take place before game night, or when the rubber meets the road, well, things probably won't go so well. Hi, this is Tracy from OK Tire, and your car is much the same. A little preventive maintenance goes a long way. There's time you need to spend getting your oil changed, tires checked and aligned, belts and hoses tested, so that when the rubber are in for a smooth ride. At OK Tire, that's what we do.
OK Tire, your hometown tire store in Holland, Hamilton, and Zeeland.
Hi, Holland Christian fans. I'm Travis Dreyer, part owner of Compound Door. When you think about replacing your garage door, think of us at Compound Door. We carry the Wayne Dalton line of garage doors powered by LiftMaster. Wayne Dalton offers a large selection of traditional or carriage house styles in steel, fiberglass, or wood. Come see the full collection of Wayne Dalton doors at Compound Door on the corner of New Holland and 136 in Holland, or online at compounddoor.com. Compounddoor.com.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The play.
Jacob Schaub takes the kickoff for Holland Christian and returns it out to the 27, maybe the 28, make it the 28-yard line. So a good return. He caught the line drive inside the 10. Did a nice job to hang on to it and then cut to his left and got it out to the hash marks on the left side at the 28. So the Maroons now trailing 7-0 with their second offensive possession. Wirebaugh has Hoekstra in the backfield with him as his running back. 3 wide. And now in motion from the right, the fake, and Wirebaugh up the middle. And he is tackled around the knees at the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 2 for Holland Christian. Jake Van Bronckhorst on the tackle for the Chicks. And officially make it the 31-yard line. He's got the entire football past the 30.
Zeeland East with very aggressive defense here in the early going. They're rushing 7, sometimes 8 guys in right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd
and 7 coming up for Holland Christian. Maroons are going to have to complete a few over the top to loosen that number of players in the box on defense for Zeeland East. Ring 7. Wirebaugh gets clobbered as he lets it go, and that one will be incomplete. Will Van Weeren and Kynan Bain were fighting for it, or Bain, B-A-Y-N. Scott will help me out with that one here in a minute.
Bain sounds good.
Bain sounds good. That works for me too. And they were fighting for it. The ball fell incomplete. So now a 3rd and 7 coming up for Holland Christian.
Bain actually had a better chance at that reception for the interception.
Yeah.
Van Weeren turned into the defender on that play.
Wirebaugh is going to have to figure a way to complete 1 or 2. He's got Van Weeren split short side of the field. He would tight end and two running backs actually. Decent protection, and Van Weeren's got it out at the 39-yard line. So he did complete one for a first down. 8 yards on the play. They needed 7. And Wirebaugh actually has them all the way out to the 40.
Strong throw, great catches. We've seen all this year. Van Weeren with really strong hands making those receptions.
And the Holland Christian offensive line doing a decent job giving Wirebaugh time to throw. So Wireball looking at 1st and 10. After the first down of the evening, they have it at their own 40, trailing 7-0, 9:11 left to play in period number 1. Wireball puts the play in motion, fakes it to Howe, and throws it falling backwards. He's got a man open out there. That would be Brady Howe, and Brady Howe is tackled at the 26-yard line by number 9 for the Chicks, Alex Stockdale. So Brady Howe got behind the defense and gets them all the way down to the 25-yard line. That is a 35-yard completion for Wilson Wireball.
Great throw, great catch. Just another, half a yard, maybe a yard of air underneath that football, and Brady Howe's in the end zone for a touchdown there.
So from the Chicks' 25-yard line, here come the Maroons. They split 2 receivers right and 2 to the left. Running back Van Eerden to the right. Wireball, who rolls right to throw, all kinds of time, lets it go in the corner. That's a catch by Van Wieren, or is that Howe? And into the end zone go the Maroons. That is Howe. Brady Howe gets the touchdown from Wireball from 25 yards out. So that didn't take long.
Brady Howe starting out again this week where he left off last week, getting wide open in the secondary.
35 and 25 in 2 plays, and it's 7-6. We've come to expect this swinging gate formation. Jacob Van Heist, the kicker for Holland Christian. Brady Howe is the holder. Sometimes they'll leave all the rest of the guys out to the left, and that's what they're doing this time. They look to get it in the air. It is caught, but short of the end zone, and I'm not sure that man was an eligible receiver anyway. At any rate, the 2-point conversion fails. So, let's talk about play calling for just a second here. Not that we're second-guessing Coach Kuipers. We know he likes to have fun. He likes to change things up. The kids love it too. But the Maroons turned it over on downs deep in their own territory, so Zeeland East had an easy time. They scored in 2 plays. And now after the Holland Christian score, when a single-point kick could have tied it up, he went for 2 and didn't get it. And as a result, the Chicks lead the Maroons 7-6 with 8:28 left to play in the first period. We thought this might be an offensive show. So far, that's what it's been.
As you alluded to, Coach Kuipers, part of his coaching strategy is very obviously that he wants to keep you guessing all the time.
He does indeed. Van Heist will tee it up at the 40. And we will not speculate on what type of kick this might be. It might be an onside kick, it might be a pop-up, or he might just kick it as deep as he possibly can. Grant Grassman, Gabe Taylor back for Zeeland East. This will be an onside kick, and it'll take the high bounce and go out of bounds, unfortunately. So Zeeland East will get the football.
Slank had a bead on picking that ball up as he was flying down the sideline trying to catch up with it. Just a step behind where that ball went out of bounds.
So Zeeland East will take the ball at the point where it went out of bounds. That would be their 37-yard line. And here come the Chicks for their second possession of the night, leading 7-6. Would appear to be Keegan in. It off to 24, Josh Fusco. And Fusco will carve out about 3 yards to the 41-yard line. Give him 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. Coming up for Coach Derek Pennington and the Zeeland East Chicks. Undefeated Zeeland East Chicks, as we said in our pregame comments. A lot of Chicks fans comparing this team to the 2010 team that almost made it to Ford Field. And Sink with a single running back this time. Will give it to Fusco. Fusco trying to find room around left end. Jukes and dives and finally hits the ground at about the 44-yard line. They will be marking him down at the 44. Gain of 3 on that play, and it'll leave him 3rd and 3.
Fusco very patient on that run. It took him a long time. He was looking as he ran, towards the Chick sideline and then finally cut it up, but there was only a couple yards there for him.
The right side of the Holland Christian defense held up under that pressure. So on a 3rd and 3, here's Ensing. Ensing will hand it off to Fusco. This time more speed around left end, and he'll get the first down. Out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play and a first down for the Chicks from Zeeland East. 7:11 left to play, period number 1. And it is the Chicks with a 1-point lead at 7-6. At the halfway mark of the first quarter, or around 6 minutes left to play, we are told we're going to get an extra water break thrown in by the officiating crew. And that will probably happen a couple of more times before the quarter ends. So Ensing, his first pass of the night out here on the right to Taylor. Taylor running at the 40, the 35, and into Holland Christian territory before he is tackled by Jared Kark for the Maroons.
56, Jared Kark. First down, Chicks.
It was Heisinger, not Taylor on that run, 2, not 1. Trusting my memory, that's always a mistake. 30, now what'd they get? 19 yards on that play. First down from the Holland Christian 34. Open field tackle. And I think that was wire ball.
Oh, that was Brady Howe.
That was Brady Howe. His eyes are that much younger than mine, folks. Grant Grassman on the tackle for Zeeland East. Give him 3 yards on the play to the 31. 2nd and 7.
As we told you in the pregame show, Brady Howe leads this Maroon defense in tackles this year.
Blake Hildenbrand to split wide to the right. Fusco around left end and running free, 20, 15, 10. And finally tripped up at about the 8-yard line. It almost looked like he might have fumbled it. But I guess not. They're going to mark him at the 8. 23 yards on that play.
Chicks are playing fast on offense and have the Maroons back on their heels a little bit here. Fusco ran easily into the secondary there.
First and goal from the 8. Keegan Ensing at quarterback. Takes the shotgun snap, will keep it himself. They think they've found something around that left end. They've run a lot of plays around that way. Ensing gets it down to the 5-yard line for a gain of 3 on that one. Evan Cruzy on the tackle for Holland Christian.
Last week we consistently saw the Maroon defensive line making a lot of tackles. This week the runners are getting into the secondary without much restriction.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
2nd and goal. And quarterback right up the middle. Ensing gets into the end zone. Another touchdown for Zeeland East, this time from 6 yards out with 5:06 left in the first. And that'll make it 13-6, Zeeland East. Extra point attempt coming up by, now I said Will Binder last time. It is Zach DeGraff, 75, not 76, that does the kicking. DeGraff out of the hold of Kobe Heisinger has it up, and it is good again. So with 5:06 left, it is now 14-6 Zeeland East. You're listening to high school football on the Pledge. And we'll be back in just a moment.
You don't have to choose between a college that has an excellent academic reputation and one that's serious about Christian conviction. At Calvin College, we live both of these things every day, in every moment. That means we think deeply about the world we live in, its people, the discoveries, all of it. And we wrestle with how our faith applies to every aspect of what we're learning. If you want to learn more and go deeper, you'll fit in well at Calvin. Find out more and about how we do faith and learning at calvin.edu. Calvin.edu.
Michigan Hearing Experts wants you to know the real effects of hearing loss. Hearing loss can signal dementia. It's true. But there's good news. Treating hearing loss can ward off dementia. It's time to treat hearing loss at Michigan Hearing Experts. Good folks with a heart for people. Not patients, people. Let's treat hearing loss in your life today. Michigan Hearing Experts in Holland, Grand Haven, Jenison, and MichiganENTallergy.com.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Pledge.
Yeah, we told you Zeeland East averages 44 points a game. They haven't shown us anything that makes us believe they're not going to hit that tonight. Defense on both sides, to be honest with you, has been a little lacking in this one thus far. So it's 14-6, still 5:06 left to play in the first period, and the officials holding the players for both sides at the benches for an extra minute. That's your first extra water break. We'll keep track of those. Schaub and Howe going back deep for Holland Christian to receive the kickoff from DeGraff. Noah Hoekstra and Grant Grassman are the guys at the next level. They're just outside the 20. And now here's the kick coming down at the goal line. And Schaub couldn't keep his feet from going back across that goal line, so that's an automatic touchback. And here comes Holland Christian with their third possession of the ball game. First one ended when they turned it over on downs deep in their own territory. That resulted in the Chicks' first score. The second possession for Holland Christian resulted in a touchdown, but they missed an attempt at a two-point conversion. Thus 14-6 Zeeland East with just over 5 left to play in the first. Wirebaugh's got 3 receivers to his left. That's the wide side of the field. He's all alone in the backfield. He'll take the snap and throw it out to Howe on the left flat. He makes one guy miss at the 20, and then he is wrestled down by Kanan Bain at the 28-yard line. Gain of 8 on that one. Yeah, make it to 29, and leaving him second and very short. We'll see if he takes a shot. He sometimes expected 2nd and 1.
9 yards on first down. Good play call by the Maroons.
Wirebaugh under center. Quarterback sneak, and he has the first down easily. Well, you don't see that. That's the first time we've seen that when it wasn't a goal line situation or a 4th down situation. So Wirebaugh under center. Quarterback sneak out to the 32-yard line. Needed 1, got 3. 1st and 10, Maroons.
Very similar to what you see Tom Brady do very often.
Exactly.
Rush to the line and move the line forward for a quick first down.
Now it's going to be Van Wieren and Cruzy going out wide to the right. Howe's in the slot on the right. Tight end on the left. That's Van Dam. Out of the shotgun snap, the handoff in the backfield. And who is it? That's Cam Van Eerden, the running back. And he is tackled by 44, Adam Berghorst. Boy, that Berghorst is a tall drink of water. He is like his whole helmet taller than anybody else on that defensive line.
He also is getting a lot of looks from the colleges.
Plays left defensive end. 2nd and 8. Flag on the play. Wirebaugh lets it go deep off the back foot again, and that one is intercepted down at the 35, but we do have a flag on this play, so hang on to everything. That was Fusco with the interception. Well, I thought I saw a flag on the play. Maybe not. I saw something go flying in the air on the far sideline. Apparently not a flag, so Fusco intercepts it back on his own 35-yard line. And that's where the Chicks will take over 1st and 10. Maroons 3 possessions, 1 touchdown, 2 turnovers. Although over on downs I don't think counts in the stats as a turnover. So here comes Ensing once again. Fusco, the running back. And it is Ensing up the middle with it. Ensing running free, gets 17 yards out to the 50, or rather the 48. I almost said the 52. The 48-yard line of Holland Christian.
Again, last week that was where we saw Josh DeVries in the defensive line wrapping those runners up right away. Tonight they're getting free into the secondary.
Well, they're doing a lot of very intricate ball handling. I don't want to say this, but they look a little bit like Zeeland West. Keegan Ensing is a very good ball handler with the fakes and the keeps. This time it is Fusco. He cuts through some defensive players, and might have been a late hit, but I guess he wasn't out of bounds yet. He got it down to the 35. That's a 12-yard gain and another first down for Zeeland East as they march it into Holland Christian territory.
Fusco with the combination of speed and power from the running back position for the East. Good-looking running back.
And sink back to the huddle from Coach Pennington. Luis Romero, tight end on the right, another big guy. That's Huizinga in motion, and it's the quarterback, Ensing, who is running free into the secondary all the way down to the 13-yard line. And it was Evan Cruzy with the tackle.
Speaking of speed and power, Ensing has plenty of his own as well.
23 yards on that run. Yeah, he never just takes off and runs with it. He'll fake it to a wingback around or a guy lined up at a typical running back position. And then every once in a while, he'll pull it back and take it himself, and away he goes. Austin Bowman split out now wide to the left for the Chicks. Huizinga in motion and fake it to him. This time, Ensing can't get away. One of the big linemen got their arms wrapped around Ensing and slowed him down enough. And I do believe for Holland Christian, that was Nate Rulofs who wrapped up Ensing and slowed him down enough to his teammates could get there and pull him down. Ball at the 14-yard line, a loss of 2 on that play. First defensive penetration we've seen tonight from Holland Christian.
Van Weeren in on that tackle as well for the Maroons.
Again, they go 2 receivers right and 2 receivers left. No tight ends, single running back for the quarterback. Ensing out of the gun. He'll roll to his left. Looking to throw. Ensing lets it go. He had a man on the sideline. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. And it's going to be close to a first down. That was Austin Bowman with the catch. And it will be short of the first down by about 2 yards. Mark it right at the 5-yard line, where it's going to be third and a long 1. Ensing breaks him out of the huddle. Still that spread out offense from numbers to numbers. And here is Ensing up the middle. This time he did take it all by himself, and he's in for another Zeeland East touchdown. Keegan Ensing from 5 yards out makes it 20-6, and we've still got 1:35 left to play in the first period. Things not looking good for the Holland Christian defense at this point. So Kobe Huizinga will kneel down at the 10-yard line from 20 yards out. Another extra point attempt from Zach DeGraff. He is 2 for 2 thus far this evening, and he is now 3 for 3. Keep it here, 21-6 is Zeeland East with 1:35 left in the first. Scott just marching up and down the field.
Very little resistance from the Maroon defense so far tonight. I look for Coach Kuipers to make some adjustments here in the second quarter and see what they can do to slow down Fusco and Ensing from the backfield.
If you look at the overall stats for the first 4 weeks for Holland Christian, they're actually winning the first half of every game. And even though they're 2-2, they're still getting beat pretty bad in the second half. So that trend cannot continue tonight, or the Maroons are going to find themselves in a hole too deep to crawl out of.
I think we're going to really see tonight which is the better conditioned team as well as we get into the second half here on a hot night for football.
It's a hot night for anything. Like I said, the hottest week 5 anybody I've talked to can remember. DeGraff has it teed up, and his team now up 21-6. That's another good high kick. This one will come down at the 5-yard line to the 10, the 15, the 20. And I believe that Schaub out over the 20 and still running at the 30. He broke out of the pile. We have a flag down at the 33-yard line, and we'll see what that's all about. Now they'll set the ball down at the 34, which would be a 29-yard run back. And now we'll check the flag on the play. This will be face mask Zeeland East, so give them 15 more.
Well, we saw in the second half last week when Hamilton decided not to kick it to Brady Howe anymore. The Chicks have obviously been scouting the Maroons. They're keeping the ball away from Howe on every kickoff.
But Schaub has acquitted himself rather nicely, thank you.
Very well, very well.
All the way out to the 49-yard line as the result of the run back and the penalty. And the Maroons from just on their own side of the 50 will have it first and 10. Howe's near slot left. Then Cruzy, then Van Weeren, I believe, unless it's Ben Slink. 5 wide. Empty backfield for Wilson Wirebaugh. Looking back to Coach Kuipers. changes the play. This is a quarterback draw, and Wireball is caught and dropped for a loss of about 2 yards. 22. Boone Bonham is given credit for the tackle. Corbin DeYoung.
Wireball running the same play there that we've seen Ensing run. The difference here is that the defenders are in the backfield waiting for him.
2nd and 14 from the Maroon 47-yard line. It is Ben Slink that's coming out here wide to the left. Cruzy adjusts over to the slot on the right side. Wireball puts Howe in motion, gives it to him. Howe cuts it up around right end and is just tripped up as he got over the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the carry for Brady Howe, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
Brady Howe for the Maroons and Kobe Heisinger for the Chicks have played very similar roles on their respective offenses.
They're both holders, too, for place kicks.
Always in motion, always something going on with those two players.
Howe near slot, the closest of 3 receivers to his quarterback, Wilson Wireball. 3rd and 5. Wireball rolling left to throw. Being chased and runs through a tackle over the 45 to the 43-yard line. Just short of the first down. 4th and about 2 coming up for Holland Christian as they mark that ball down at the 43-yard line. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter, 21-6 Chicks. You're listening to high school football on the Pledge.
Craftsman of world-class landscapes and outdoor living spaces, Hollandia Outdoors has been serving West Michigan since 1965. Today, they have become a premier outdoor living design and build company, utilizing top artisans from around the nation and latest technology to create the most unique and memorable spaces. Whether you need lawn care and maintenance, landscape design and installation, Michigan area.
Skur Printing and Mailing believes you are their #1 boss. You are the purpose for what they do. So what are the top 5 things Skur Printing and Mailing does to earn your biz? Friendly attitudes, principled service, honest answers, responsiveness, simplicity. That's it. Well, actually, this is better. Skur Printing and Mailing makes you and your business look great. Here's where you go to skurprinting.com to see everything they can do for you and your biz. Go ahead, skurprinting.com.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Pledge.
All right, here we go with period number 2. Chicks have the ball, leading 21, or rather Maroons have the ball, and they have a 4th and 2 from just inside midfield. And it's a screen. Wireball lets it go and will throw a pick. That one will be intercepted at the Zeeland East 40 by number 14. He knows how to handle the football. He also knows how to catch it. And Wireball is doing something tonight we haven't seen him do as much all season long. He's backing away from the pressure and throwing off his back foot. Or a little bit off balance as he is moving and almost falling backward. So from their own 40, here come the Chicks. Already leading 21-6. We're just underway second period. 2 running backs, 3 wide outs. And up the middle comes the quarterback, Ensing. Ensing will get it over the 45 to the 46-yard line. And they brought Gabe Taylor in as a switch-up at quarterback that time. So Taylor runs for 6 and makes it 2nd and 4. He's got it at his own 46-yard line. Scott told you the Chicks had been alternating Taylor and Ensing at quarterback, so it's Taylor's turn, apparently. He is in the shotgun, and he will turn and hand it to Fusco. And Fusco picking his way through the defense and ran out of a couple of tackles. But he got it to the 50-yard line, and that's all he needed for the first down. Evan Cruz again on another tackle for the Maroons. Josh DeVries as well, our player of the game on defense from last week.
Fusco's been playing varsity football since he was a freshman. He's can really tell he's got a lot of vision, and he uses a lot of patience when he's running the football. Still just a junior, so he's got another year coming.
Wide out to the right goes Blake Hildenbrand for the Chicks. Same formation, 2 running backs to the left. This is Taylor up the middle, and Taylor will get it down to the 40-yard line. That's almost 10 yards on that carry.
You can certainly see why Coach Pennington is using 2 quarterbacks this year. Gabe Taylor's a great running quarterback as well.
So I give him 8. 2nd and 2. Needs to get it just past the 40-yard line. 21-6, Zeeland East. 10:15 left, first half. Halftime, we'll hear from Athletic Director David Engbers and from John Johnson of the MHSAA. Maroons with 4 down linemen on defense, 2 linebackers close. Fumble by Taylor in the backfield, picks it up. Still manages to get back to the line of scrimmage. But that's all in there for Holland Christian. Leading the charge was Ben Slink.
I think if Coach Pennington would talk to Gabe Taylor there, he'd like him to just fall on that football at that point.
Josh DeVries in on his 2nd tackle in a row.
Josh DeVries, our player of the game from last week in the win over Hamilton.
3rd and about 1.5 yards. So officially give him a half a yard on that play. And Taylor taking the shotgun snap this time, handing to Fusco. He runs around left end this time, runs through a tackle at the 30, the 20, and finally ridden out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. 74 Josh DeVries in on it again for Holland Christian, along with Noah Hoekstrom.
Of course, 20 yards downfield is not where you like your linemen making the tackles.
Nope. And the official spotter said Levi Van Dam also had a hand in that. Now 3rd. And here come the Chicks with 9 minutes left in the half, leading 21-6 and knocking on the door again. And this time Taylor follows Fusco through the hole and gets it inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. 7 yards on the play, 2nd and 3 for Zeeland Easton. They are an offensive machine. They don't need to throw it much. You just run it right down your throat from that spread formation.
Very impressed with the offensive line and the blocking schemes for the Zeeland Chicks so far in this game.
Kidding. Way better than anything we've seen so far this season. They put 4 wide, put the left receiver in motion, and Taylor will run it up. That was Heisengay in motion. Taylor inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. Another 8 yards on a quick hitter right up the middle for Gabe Taylor. And it's 1st and goal, Zeeland East.
Early in the 2nd quarter, Byron Center leading Zeeland West tonight 7-6.
Chicks break the huddle with 8 minutes left to play first half. Gabe Taylor in at quarterback this entire series. Whistles before the play gets off. And Holland Christian calls timeout. So Coach Kuipers or his defensive coordinator decided they wanted to talk this over for just a minute. We'll be back after this on The Pledge.
Reputations take years to build. Advantage Marine took advantage of that time to build theirs the right way. Now they're West Michigan's premier powerboat repair facility. And more of our neighbors are learning Advantage Marine is the place to trust for winterization and winter storage. Repair your boat's summer bumps and bruises. Protect your boat from winter. Prepare your boat for spring. Sleep well knowing it's in good hands, the hands of trained Mercury and Mercruiser technicians. Advantage Marine, AdvantageMarineRepair.com.
Imagine your home reinvented with a distinctive Clopay garage door. With so many beautiful styles to choose from, Quality Door Company can help you rejuvenate your home's appearance by creating a dramatic entrance that makes a bold statement. To see what inspires you, try the Clopay Door Imagination System online and upload a picture of your own home. Explore the possibilities at ImagineClopay.com. For more information, visit our locations in Holland, Grand Rapids, Muskegon, or South Haven.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Pledge.
All right, Zeeland East knocking on the door again. Goal to go situation from the 5-yard line. It is a 1st and goal. Gabe Taylor still the quarterback. And this time he will hand it to running back, and that running back will get it down to the 1. That didn't look like Fusco for a moment. We'll get word in just a second.
It was Fusco.
It was Fusco. Tackle for the Maroons. To stop the Chicks short that time from the 5-yard line. But it is down to the 1 where it is 2nd and goal.
What an advantage for the Chicks to be able to use 2 quarterbacks on a night like this and keep them both fresh.
Taylor the quarterback, Fusco the running back. And in motion, and that one is blown up by Holland Christian. Who got through there for the Maroons?
62.
Touchdown.
Rulofs was in the backfield before the handoff happened on that play.
And it is 3rd and goal. They'll say no gain or loss on that play. So it's still at the 1-yard line. So Zeeland East on a 3rd goal, I believe. Scoreboard says 2nd. We'll check it. And quarterback Taylor is stopped short. So good job by the Maroon defense to, so far at least, hold the Chicks out of the end zone.
Bend don't break on this drive so far. Let's see if they can keep them out of the end zone or if the Chicks decide to go for a field goal here.
Loss of 3 on that one, back to the 4. It is 4th down. And we'll see what Coach Derek Pennington has in mind. They already lead it 21-6. And this looks like a regular play. Fusco's the running back. Gabe Taylor's the quarterback. Chances are it'll be one of those two on a 4th and goal from the 4. Taylor looking to throw. Slant in the end zone. Knocked away by Holland Christian's Will Van Weeren, I believe, or Brady Howe. Looks too short for Van Weeren. Can't read the number. It was Brady Howe that broke it up. And that was a great defensive stand by Holland Christian after we said nobody was playing defense.
Could not have come at a better time for the Maroons. If the Chicks go up 3 touchdowns there, you know, this game can get out of hand in a hurry.
So a really, really good job by Holland Christian's defense. We'll see if that gives them a little more oomph and desire to play, and we'll also see if it translates to the offense. Looks like we're going to get a water break in right here with 5:50 left to play in the first half. That'll give us a chance to remind you that our halftime show again tonight will feature Holland Christian Athletic Director David Engbers in a conversation I had with him late this afternoon after the decision had been made to delay the start of this game till 7:30 tonight due to the heat index. And then we'll also hear from John Johnson with This Week in High School Sports. John Johnson, the communications director for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. The sponsoring and licensing, and there's a word there I'm looking for that I can't come up with, but they're the organization that handles high school athletics in the state of Michigan. So we're ready to go. The Maroons now, the good news is they made the Chicks turn it over on downs. The bad news is they've got it at their own 4-yard line, 1st and 10. Wire ball puts Van Weeren in motion and hands it to him. Van Weeren cuts it up and is caught after a gain out to, we'll guess, the 8-yard line.
I didn't see who the defender was on that play, but he hit Van Weeren a ton.
Sage Cry is being given credit for the tackle officially. We had a 5-minute conference up here, and then we decided who it was. That's not true. Mr. Lemon is a very good spotter. And he can hold binoculars up in front of his eyes and doesn't have to talk. No excuses. Now Van Eerden in motion. Wire ball, the keeper, fights for a couple of yards. And he's got it out to the 9-yard line for a gain of 1. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Maroons.
Berghorst on the tackle for the Chicks.
Man, you can't get over how tall he is. He's just amazing. He is literally a full helmet taller than anybody around him out there. got to be what, 6'7", 6'8"?
Sure looks like it from here.
So the Maroons still with the spread formation going left to right. Far side hash marks. On a 3rd and 5, whistles and flags. Probably false start. Yep, that's the indication. So the Maroons didn't need that. That'll back them up to the 4.5. And make it 3rd and 10. Or 9.5, technically. Clock running, 4:30 left to play first half.
Big 3rd down for the Maroons here.
Listening to Holland Christian Football on WPNW Zeeland, Holland, Grand Rapids. Scott and Raj with you on a Friday night. And now wire ball looking at 3rd and 10. Deep in his own territory. He'll throw for it from the end zone. It's deep out here on the right side for Howe, and it is a flag as 3 defenders were all over Brady Howe, led by Alex Stockdale. And we think it's going to be defensive pass interference.
All 3 Chicks defenders had a hand on the football there momentarily before it fell to the ground.
So if they call this, that is defensive pass interference. And it'll be an automatic first down for Holland Christian, and we'll see where they mark it. And it's a 15-yard walk-off, and we'll bring it all the way out to the 25-yard line. So the Maroons get a break from the Chicks. Thank you very much.
Chicks had 3 defenders back covering that play. I don't really think they needed to interfere with that pass.
And now wire ball is under center. And a quick handoff. And that worked for yardage. Out to the 30-plus, maybe the 31-yard line. 11 yards on the play. For a first down. Schaub up the middle. Boy, that was a quick handoff from under center. And Boone Bonema was the tackler for Zeeland East. I don't know why it seems darker than normal in here tonight. We'll get by.
Great change of pace there from the Maroons. Quick hitter.
And a play we haven't seen before in the first 4 weeks.
Under center again.
Let's check and make sure that's wire ball. Whoops. And yep, it is wire ball, and he kept it. Berghorst, another tackle for. And Berghorst gets up limping just slightly. Yeah, that play did look weird. They were all jammed up in the middle. I don't know if wire ball lost control of the ball for a minute or what, but at any rate, he held on for possession. They got it out to the 33-yard line. So officially a 2-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 8 coming up for Holland Christian. And wire ball playing this entire series under center. Something I'm sure Zeeland East didn't expect. And wire ball with the fake draw and lets it go deep. Hit as he was throwing it, and that means it's intercepted. And running free with it, the Chicks into Holland Christian territory, 45-40. 35 and out of bounds at the bench for Holland Christian. That's Fusco. Josh Fusco with the interception, and that was like it was thrown to him. Again, 3 white shirts and 1 maroon shirt in the pass play. Or in the pattern, if you prefer. But he was hit as he was throwing it, so the ball didn't go where he wanted it to, obviously.
Certainly a whole new feeling for wire ball back there playing from under center.
Yeah, no kidding. And to make that change on week 5, that's asking a lot of these kids.
3 interceptions tonight for Wireball so far, I believe.
Ensing is back in at quarterback. And he'll keep it. And he'll run it for yardage down to the 25. Howe with the tackle, 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 2 coming up for the Chicks.
Ensing very deceptive with those fake handoffs. I think you mentioned that earlier, but great ball handling skills.
The one thing you can tell by the way they're running who's got it usually, which is something that Zeeland West does not allow you to do. They all run with the same ferocity. But if the Chicks stay with this offense, they'll figure that out. Ensing again with the keeper straight up the middle, running free. Ensing finally brought down, but not till he got it inside the 10-yard line. to about the 6. Yards on the play before Grant Grassman could haul him down. Boy, he's elusive. So another 1st and goal situation for Zeeland East. And have they had the ball the entire second quarter? Feels like it.
That's what happens with interceptions.
1:34 left in the half. It's been a quick second quarter, I'll give it that. Quarterback keeper for Keegan Ensing, and he's down to the 1.
Quarterback keeper, Keegan Ensing.
Last time the Maroons defense stiffened down here inside the red zone.
5 yards on that play, 2nd and goal with the ball on the 1-yard stripe. 65 seconds left in the half.
I don't think we're going to see another pass here from the Chicks on the goal line this time.
I would doubt it. Fusco and Stockdale are in the backfield, and we have timeout. On the turf, called by Holland Christian. We'll be back in just a moment. And, of course, in the dark, I hit the wrong button on the computer. Stand by.
As a mom, I want to make sure my family is safe on the road and our vehicle can be counted on. I also want to make sure that our vehicle fits us as a busy family of 5 with sports and carpools. But as a businesswoman, I also want it to be stylish and classy, bold and sleek, and scream confidence. That's why I like Fords and why I love my team at Barber Ford in Holland. They get me. They get my life. Whatever my budget, either new or pre-owned, they are worth a stop. Barber Ford in their brand new showroom, corner of US 31 and 8th Street in Holland.
In sports, lots of training goes on behind the scenes. Hard work and conditioning that take place before game night, or when the rubber meets the road, well, things probably won't go so well. Hi, this is Tracy from OK Tire, and your car is much the same. A little preventive maintenance goes a long way. There's time you need to spend getting your oil changed, tires checked and aligned, belts and hoses tested, so that when the rubber meets the road, you know you and your family are in for a smooth ride. At OK Tire, that's what we do.
OK Tire, your hometown tire store in Holland, Hamilton, and Zeeland.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Pledge.
Keegan Ensing takes the direct snap and runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Zeeland East, with 49.2 seconds left to play in the second quarter. 27-6 Chicks, soon to be 28-7, or 28-6, I'm sorry, as Zach DeGraff has been perfect tonight. He is 3 for 3. And we need one more player out there on special teams for the Chicks. Here he comes. DeGraff will line it up at the posts to our left. Here's the snap. It's good. No, it's not good. It's bouncing off of the deck. It's picked up by Heisinger. He will throw it on the planned fake to number 10 for the 2-point conversion. That's Jake Van Bronkenhorst. Or Van Bronkhorst. I threw an extra syllable in there. My apologies. So make it 29-6 Chicks. With 49.2 left as Coach Pennington pulls a rabbit out of the hat. That snap was low and it bounced off the turf, and I thought the way Heisinger picked it up, maybe it was a broken play, but not to be, because he had receivers in the end zone, and he found Van Bronkhorst with no problem at. I can see why people are comparing this version of the Chicks to 2010. They are really, really slick on offense.
Fortunate for the Maroons, that is the first touchdown in the second quarter here for the Chicks.
The most important and the first thing coming up once we get to halftime will be Scott's summary. So if you joined us late, you'll be able to catch up with all of the scoring action in the first half, and there's been a bunch of it, at least for the Chicks. DeGraff to kick off right to left. And we'll run up, put the right foot into it. It is a line drive that bounces at the 10, high into the air. Howe can't corner it, finally does, but he's in the end zone, and that's Shaw, brother, not Howe. And he got lucky in that they called that a touchback. One of the Zeeland East players inquiring, did he maybe touch that when he was in the field of play? But no, they'll say that he touched it first in the end zone.
Very difficult football to pick up. It was bouncing left and right and back and forth and all over the place. Schaub did everything he could to try and grab onto that football.
So we'll see if Coach Kuipers wants to be conservative or just let her rip here with 49 seconds left in the half from his own 20-yard line. Wire ball, the quarterback dropping back to throw. Throws it out in the right flat. And Will Van Weeren is dropped after a very short gain, 52. Spencer Postma on the tackle. So Van Weeren with the clock running. Maroons 1 timeout left. Not inclined to use it here. No gain on the play. Second and, I don't know. It looks like he maybe lost a couple of yards on the play. I think it's 2nd and 12 from the 18. Wire ball with the sort of Statue of Liberty looking play. Here comes Schaub. Schaub into open territory, but tackled just over the 30-yard line. He'll get the first down, and that'll stop the clock with 7 seconds left. But it'll start again as soon as the chains are set, unless the Maroons use their last timeout. And they didn't, and the clock will run out. And that will be, now they did call it with 1 second left. All right, so the Maroons, not quite sure what that was all about. Almost like they waited those 6 seconds and then called it with 1 second left. I suppose, if it's intercepted, they have an opportunity to run it back, so that wasn't the reason. I don't know, what do you think?
Maybe he's looking just for a Hail Mary and wanted to make sure there wouldn't be any time left after that.
Yeah, I don't know. We shall see. Maroons down by 23 points with just 1 second left to play in half number 1. Really haven't seen too much effect of the heat as far as the speed of the game goes or the players out there. We haven't had any cramping issues that we're aware of.
Been keeping an eye on the substitutions, and they are both teams are substituting freely tonight, getting fresh players in and out.
So Wirebaugh is going to come at the quarterback. We haven't seen anything of Lamb yet tonight. And we'll see. Where's Brady Howe? Brady Howe is near slot left. 5 wide, empty backfield out of the gun. Wirebaugh, decent protection, throws left, and there is a hook and lateral play as Van Weeren touched it off to Howe, and then Howe got tackled at the 36-yard line. And that'll put 6 yards in the books for the Maroons, but no score. So at the half here on WPNW Zeeland, Holland Grand Rapids, it is the Chicks from Zeeland East 29, the Maroons from Holland Christian 6. And here's Scott with his halftime summary.
All right, thank you. The Maroons started tonight on their first possession, going 3 and out, and were in punt formation. However, they snapped it to the up back and tried a fake punt. That, however, was unsuccessful, and the Chicks took over deep in Maroon territory. Shortly after that, with 10:29 left to go in the first quarter, Gabe Taylor ran for an 11-yard touchdown run. The PAT was good, and Zeeland East led the Maroons 7-0. With 8:28 left in the first quarter, there was a 25-yard touchdown pass from Wirebaugh to Brady Howe for the Maroons. The 2-point conversion failed, and Zeeland East led 7-6. With 5:06 to go in the first quarter, Keegan Ensing ran for a 6-yard touchdown. The PAT was good, giving the Chicks a 14-6 lead. The Chicks scored again in the first quarter with 1:35 left. This time it was a 4-yard touchdown run for Keegan Ensing. The PAT was good again, and at the end of the first quarter, the Chicks led the Maroons 21-6. Only one touchdown in the second quarter. With 49.2 seconds left, Keegan Ensing ran in for his 3rd touchdown of the night. The 2-point conversion was good. Huizinga to Van Bronckhorst. The Chicks lead the Maroons at halftime, 29-6.
And a great homecoming crowd on hand here at Holland Christian tonight. On this 22nd of September, we've got some special games going on. Special meal, dunk tank, and a whole lot of stuff going on pregame here at Holland Christian tonight. So a very festive atmosphere for a very warm homecoming evening here at Holland Christian. And right now, let's hit our add-on segment. Halftime continues from Holland Christian with Holland Christian Athletic Director Dave Engbers. Dave, there's something coming up not involving football. It involves soccer. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we're pretty excited to host our annual Night of Nets game. Night of Nets is a night that Cornerstone University got started with many years ago, and it is to raise funds with World Vision to purchase bed nets in sub-Saharan Africa to help prevent malaria. So we are just thrilled to partner with this. You come on Monday night, that's this Monday, September 25th. If you buy a shirt, you get into the game for free, and that's the donation of a bed net as well.
All right. Prevents the spread of malaria, so a great cause. Monday night, right here at Holland Christian, Night of Nets, and a good boys soccer game between Holland Christian and Holland High. On these add-on segments throughout the first 4 weeks of the season, we have been talking with Mr. Engbers about core purposes in the Holland Christian athletic program. We've covered 4. We're up to number 5.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have these core purposes that help give us a little bit of direction and where we're going and why we're going there. You know, our big picture goal is to really engage with culture, and what better way to do that than through sport and get two communities that come together, and we really start to engage with that. And we believe that through the process of that, our student athletes can really learn a lot about whose they are and their identity in Jesus Christ. And we can even do that through sport. So we're excited about that.
So the specifics around core purpose number 5 are?
Yeah, core purpose number 5, compete in God-honoring ways. And a trait that we associate with that is to play with passion. You know, if we backtrack last week, we talked about humility. And what a cool combination of our 4th and 5th core purpose. Passion and humility. You get that passionate person who considers others in addition to themselves. You have that humble competitor, and when you combine the two, that's a pretty powerful example of who we want our student athletes to be. So we want our kids to play with passion. You know, one of my favorite quotes is from golfer Hale Irwin: refuse to accept anything less than what you are capable of achieving at any time. Make it your goal to play better than the day before. And the only way to do that is to attack it, attack the day, attack the practice with some passion. And, you know, then it leads into, well, how do you get that? And I believe the best way to get that is to have a clock, or to have a score, or to have a score that you have to keep. You name the sport, you got to have competition to get that sense of urgency in athletes. You know, when an athlete thinks they're going 100%, they're really going 70. How do you get them? That's why we call it 110%, right? How do you get them to that true 100% and get that energy out of them and that passion? Well, sometimes it's the scoreboard, and it's the competition, and it's getting excited, just like tonight at our football game.
So what do you say to psychologists, parents, and other people who are so worried about a young child's self-esteem that they do the participation trophy thing?
Well, you know, I would stretch that and kind of flip that around a little bit and say, yep, there's a scoreboard and there's a winner and a loser. But ultimately, we want every single athlete to have the motivation to compete hard, to compete with high effort, to realize that sometimes you're going to lose that battle, but we're going to keep at it because you're going to learn in the process. We all start at different points in the journey. And when it comes to athletics, we all start at different talent levels. But how do we get our athletes to grow and to play with passion no matter where they start and to improve? And powerful is when you have a team that everybody does that. Now our backs are together, we're all playing with passion, and it just seems to multiply. And I've seen great examples of that and you know, in many of our sports teams right now. So I'm pretty excited about encouraging and working with our coaches to get our athletes to play with passion.
And that segues very nicely into what I was going to mention next, and that's this is not just a bunch of words on a piece of paper or in an athletic director's head. The stuff trickles down. You meet regularly with your coaches. The coaches meet, obviously, regularly with their athletes. And you guys really do stress this stuff.
We try hard. I mean, we have it written down. It's in our handbooks, but we talk about it, and we talk about how can we push this through. There's a monthly email that goes to our coaches where we talk about our culture. And so we're never going to be perfect. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to keep battling and keep striving. these core purposes help keep us in that direction.
Dave, it's been a complicated day. Had to push the start back of tonight's game a half hour because of the heat index and all that else was going on. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Chin ups the ante, local support, and it's about time. It's all next on This Week in High School Sports, powered by My Student Aid, Michigan's go-to resource for student financial aid. Hi again, everyone. I'm John Johnson, and welcome to This Week in High School Sports. Notre Dame Prep is flying high in the volleyball world again this season. The top-ranked Irish have already knocked off the likes of defending Class C champ Bronson and perennial Class A power Temperance Bedford, paced by 6'3" junior outside hitter Maddie Chin. A 3-year starter, Chin is averaging 4.3 kills per game this year, and she's also upped her game in other respects, including leadership.
The more I've been on the court, the more I get to express to my teammates some shots they can hit, what we can be reading. The more I'm on the court, the more I can help my teammates, which is really important to me. Being a good teammate, I think, includes the aspect of putting them in the most successful position they are or they can be. So I really enjoy that part of being on the court more and helping them out with that.
You can read more about Maddie Chin on the second half page of the MHSAA website. Our Sparrow Health game balls this week go out to Zach Shane of Fruitport, who became his school's career goals and points leader in boys soccer last week with 3 goals against Grand Rapids Union, and Escanaba running back Logan Carroll, who had 212 yards and 4 touchdowns in a great Northern Conference football win over Marquette on Friday. Snacking before a practice or a game can energize a workout. A pre-exercise snack can help settle your stomach and fuel your muscles. A tip from Sparrow, the official health system of the MHSAA. Back with more in a moment. You're listening to This Week in High School Sports.
Do you need money for college? Michigan Student Aid is Michigan's go-to resource for student financial aid. They administer scholarships, grants, college savings programs, and other resources that help make college accessible, affordable, and achievable for you. See how they can help you today by visiting michigan.gov/mystudentaid and connect with Michigan Student Aid on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with Mark Ewell.
Football is a game of preparation. During the week, the teams involved, the cheerleading squads, and members of the marching band put in a great deal of work to be ready for Friday night. Officials are no different. All across the state on Monday nights, referees attend local association meetings where they review film from the previous week's game, talk about rules, coverages, and mechanics, so that our team of officials are just as prepared and ready to go as the teams playing each and every Friday night. In addition to Friday nights, many officials also work freshman and JV games on Thursday and will often work games on the weekend, whether it be small college all the way down to youth games, to give those young people on the field the best officiating possible.
Thanks, Mark. There's help wanted. Just whistle. Visit the MHSAA website now to be a referee. Over the years in this space, I've opined about the pipe dreams of college athletic scholarships, the scummy scouting report recruiting services out there, how parental pressure helps burn kids out of sports mentally, and how specialization burns them out physically, about the benefits of multiple sports participation, and how participation in youth sports, let alone high school sports, is in danger of becoming something only for families with deep pockets. Some of you have blown off those thoughts. If you haven't seen it yet, a recent issue of Time magazine has an article called How Kids Sports Became a $15 billion Industry. It's a great read, an accurate statement of what's happening out there, and it bundles all of the things I've been talking about all these years. It talks about organizations which exist solely to conduct travel team tournaments across the nation that create that sucking sound of money from parents' wallets. It talks about families which could have easily saved the money they poured into juniors' athletic endeavors and sent them to college. It talks about companies using their affiliations with professional sports to try and financially dominate the youth sports market, and the list goes on and on and on. This is all the result of a twisted perspective out there about youth sports, and it's had a negative impact on educational athletics. It's why high school sports are fighting harder than ever to remind people of its true philosophies: educational, local in nature, amateur, and inclusive. Opportunities for kids who want to play, not just for the elite. I already told you so on these things, and I'm now glad that Time took the time to back me up. Join us again next time for another edition of This Week in High School Sports, powered by My Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm John Johnson. We'll see you next time.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Play.
And that brings us back to the press box at Holland Christian, where the Maroons are trailing the Chicks from Zeeland East here at the half, 29-6. Scott has a look at the official halftime stat sheet.
Well, the first thing that jumps out right off the page at us is that Zeeland East is out rushing the Maroons tonight. 222 yards in the first half to just 48 for the Maroons. Zeeland East threw the ball for just 28 yards, and Holland Christian had 90 yards passing in the first half.
All right. The Chicks dominating, I think, would be fair to say. The Maroons got off to a bit of a shaky start as they tried a fake punt and basically turned it over on downs deep in their own territory after their first possession. The Chicks ran two plays, and it's 6-0. DeGraff comes in for the kick. It's 7-0 before Holland Christian could catch its breath and before their fans were seated on the bleachers. So it's hard to recover from a start like that. And Zeeland East, outside of one successful drive for Holland Christian, just really, really dominated the first half. The score 29-6.
Other than the one Zeeland East drive that stalled down deep in Maroon territory, they ran the ball at will against the Maroon defense in the first half. Let's see what the co-defensive coordinators for Holland Christian and Coach Kuipers can make some adjustments here in the second half and see if they can slow down Ensing, Taylor, and Fusco for the Chicks.
And I think it's worth mentioning that for one whole series, Wilson Wireball played quarterback under center. We've seen him run a couple of quarterback sneaks at the goal line, but really that's the only time all season long that we have seen him under center. He looked very comfortable back there.
Yep, certainly a new twist, as we've come to expect from Coach Kuipers here in the first 5 games this year. That drive did end in an interception, and we did question a little bit if that was, just a little bit of uncomfortable feeling coming out from under center on a throw like that over the middle of the field.
He certainly got back there. His footwork looked great. You couldn't tell that he didn't grow up, play quarterback under center.
Very interesting look. The Maroons had 2 running backs out there in the I formation too.
Trent Lamb has been coming in the Wildcat on occasion over the first 4 games. Well, at least starting with game 2. We haven't seen him in there at all tonight. We'll kind of keep an eye out for that as the second half progresses. 29-6, Chicks at the half. We'll be back and see if we can take you inside the locker room in just a moment.
Hi, Holland Christian fans. I'm Travis Dreyer from Compound Door. When you think about replacing your garage door, think of a fellow Holland Christian alumni at Compound Door, where over half our staff are HC grads. We carry CHI garage doors. CHI offers a large selection of traditional and carriage house styles, designs, and windows. Come by our showroom and see the full collection of CHI doors powered by LiftMaster operators at Compound Door on the corner of New Holland and 136th in Holland, or online at compounddoor.com.
You don't have to choose between a college that has an excellent academic reputation and one that's serious about Christian conviction. At Calvin College, we live both of these things every day, in every moment. That means we think deeply about the world we live in, its people, the discoveries, all of it. And we wrestle with how our faith applies to every aspect of what we're learning. If you want to learn more and go deeper, you'll fit in well at Calvin. Find out more and about how we do faith and learning at calvin.edu. Calvin.edu.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Play.
Back with you from the press box at Holland Christian, nearing the end of halftime festivities. Zeeland East came out, ran through a very short warm-up drill. Holland Christian looks like they're going through their normal second half warm-up routine. Scott gives us just a couple of minutes to, you had mentioned, what the defensive coaches have to do. I wonder what the offensive coaches are thinking at this point.
Sure, Zeeland East, Coach Pennington and the Chicks coaching staff are going to look to control the clock by running the football here in the second half. Keep the ball away from the Maroon offense that we know can be explosive. So control the ball with running it and end your drives with touchdowns. For the Maroons, they're going to look to get Brady Howe and Will Van Wieren loose. We're going to need some big explosive plays here in the second half from them. They're going to have to get loose in the secondary and score some touchdowns here for the Maroons to get back into this football game.
Could not agree more, and we haven't called Brady Howe's name nearly as much as we did in the first 4 games. Josh DeVries got involved on defense in the second period. But, yeah, you're right. Somebody out of that offensive backfield for Holland Christian is going to have to start making an impact. So with just a few more seconds left to go, let's remind you that if you want to communicate with us via Twitter, you can do so. We are at The Pledge Sports. We have a Pledge Facebook page that you can like and subscribe to. We put information about our upcoming broadcasts on the Pledge Facebook page. And Scott and I also on our personal Facebook pages will usually mention one thing or another about it.
Always interesting to see what the student sections are doing tonight. The Zeeland East student section in a neon out tonight, and the Maroons student section all decked out in red, white, and blue for homecoming tonight.
That's great, and I can't emphasize enough the crowd that Holland Christian gathered for homecoming tonight. Yeah, you didn't have to worry about being cold. If anything, you had to worry about it being too hot. But, man, there were people all over this campus when I got here about an hour before game time tonight. And it was a great thing to see. Everybody in a festive mood and having a good time and looking forward to a football game between these two rivals, the Chicks from Zeeland East and the Maroons from Holland Christian, now back in the same league again. And I think everybody in Western Michigan is happy about that, except perhaps the Maroons right now.
Back in the early days, the Maroons dominated the series, winning the first 4. They took a couple years off when the Chicks went into the OK Black. And now they're back, and the Chicks have now won 6 games in a row against the Maroons.
So it will be Holland Christian to get the ball as we begin the second half. They'll go left to right as we view the field. And I had that wrong again. Of course, Holland Christian will be kicking off. Shows you I can't remember from one half to the other. So Van Heis has it teed up. Man, this looks like it could be another onside kick. And they run 3 guys past the ball. It is an onside kick, but it's not going to go 10 yards. Whistles all over the place, and they'll call that illegal procedure against Holland Christian. I don't know whether somebody was ahead of the ball because it took so long to get the 3rd guy through to kick it or what. But another wrinkle on the onside kick attempt. Nobody from Holland Christian touched it, so that wasn't the infraction. But they did indicate illegal procedure against Holland Christian. So they will back them up 5 yards, and this kickoff will come from the 35. However, the onside kick philosophy.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a coach who is willing to try this many different types of trick plays in a football game.
Yeah. Actually teeing it up for the Maroons is Grant Graspid. And this will be the onside kick from one of the linemen on the right side, and it's just not going to go 10 yards. So it'll be Chicks ball at the Holland Christian 39-yard line.
Nate Rulofs with that onside kick attempt.
So I guess when you're down 29-6 at the half, you adopt the nothing to lose philosophy.
Yeah, there certainly wasn't any secrets out there. The Chicks were ready for it. The Maroons just hoping to get a bounce that would come to one of their players. Ball never traveled 10 yards, though.
So we'll check the quarterback. I believe that's Ensing, just based on his height. It is. And he'll keep it and go up the middle after a really nice fake. He'll get it down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up for Zeeland East. And the tackle made by Ethan Brinks for Holland Christian. Zeeland East quarterbacks go to the sideline, talk to Coach Pennington, and then come back to the huddle. And it's like looking in a mirror. They run all the same spread formations that Holland Christian runs. Ensing out of the gun will hand it to Fusco, who was met behind the line of scrimmage that time. On a good job by the middle of the Holland Christian defense. Nate Rulofs and a bunch of his friends coming off after that play with a slight limp for Holland Christian.
One of our keys to the second half here, the Maroon defensive line got to swallow up those running backs and quarterbacks as they try to rush the ball up the middle.
Fusco lines up to the left of Ensing. They have 3 receivers left and 1 to the right. Now motion Fusco out of the backfield. Here's a quick throw to Huizinga. Kobe Huizinga at the 30, the 35, or rather it goes the other way when you're going that way from the 50-yard line, Raj, but I'll be all right. Huizinga goes out of bounds at 22. Evan Cruzy credited with the tackle.
The Chicks had 3 receivers in a bunch formation there. They all took off downfield except for Kobe Huizinga, who made the reception and then ran it downfield behind the blockers.
14 yards on that play. Holland Christian, 1st and 10, Zeeland East, already leading 29-6. Ensing, handoff. Nope, Ensing kept it. Great fake by Ensing. And he runs it right up the gut to the 13-yard line. And that's another 9 yards for Keegan Ensing. How many yards rushing did the Chicks have in that first half?
222 yards rushing.
Yeah. And they didn't forget how to do it in the locker room.
Gabe Taylor took 1 series and ran it just as effectively as Ensing did.
Clock running, 10:13 left. Play slow coming back to the huddle. Keep an eye on the back judge. Huddle is broken. They're at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 2 from the 14. Huizinga in motion. That's Ensing on the option. And that one they handed off to Keenan Bain. And Bain got it down to about the 10-yard line, maybe the 8-yard line before Howell ran him out. Or are they going to put it down? Yeah, make it 9.
Interesting play call there for the Chicks. Bain started on the far left of the formation, kind of just hung out behind the play, and then sprinted forward and got the pitch from Ensing.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line, officially. And, of course, we like to be official. Doesn't always work out that way, but. Ensing, keeper around left end, caught from behind, still got 2-3 yards. Ethan Brinks on the tackle. Nice wrap up from behind by Brinks that time.
Good pursuit, good tackle.
Nose of the ball is on the 5-yard line where it's 2nd and goal.
Chicks seem to be playing in the red zone all night tonight.
You know what the loneliest job in the world is? Wide receiver for the Chicks. Whoa, mess up in the backfield. That time, ball's loose. Who's got it? Looks like the Chicks recovered it. Nope, Maroons get it back. Who's up off the bottom of that pile? Ethan Brinks. What a great job by Brinks, as the 2 guys who were faking getting the handoff ran into each other in the backfield. Over. And the Maroons have it. And it looks to be about the 11-yard line, doesn't it? First and 10, Holland Christian. Junior, Wilson, Wireball. Puts Howe in motion and gives it to him. And Howe is caught in the backfield and dropped for a loss.
Wireball's handoff to number 3, Brady Howe. 3rd down, correction, 2nd down.
And that'll put it back inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line by my calculations. (29-6) Chicks, 8:38 left in the 3rd period. WPNW Zeeland, Holland Grand Rapids. Your home for Holland Christian football all season long. Wireball out of the gun, rolling right to throw. Lets it go deep down the sideline, intended for Howe, but not close. Ben Slink also in the pattern. He was the short guy. Howe was the long guy, and the ball kind of came down between them.
It looked like Slink was having a hard time getting past his defender. I think the pass may have been intended for him, but he was unable to get around the defender there.
So Jacob Schaub checks in. Cam Van Eerden checks out. Here comes Brady Howe with the play for his junior quarterback, Wilson Wireball. from the 8-yard line. A wire ball out of the gun. Rolling right, hands it off on a Statue of Liberty looking. Before he got it way out near the 30-yard line. And we'll see where they finally put the ball down. It looks like they're going to mark it at the 27.
We've said it a few times this year. You know, Schaub doesn't get a lot of chances from the running back position, but when he does, he runs with authority if he can get loose in the secondary.
19 yards on the play and sort of a behind-the-back handoff from Wirebaugh that time to break him loose.
Great call on third down.
1st and 10, Holland Christian. Wirebaugh with receivers all over the field. He did keep a running back in. He'll hand it off to Schaub. Schaub finding running room out over the 35 to the 36 before he is brought down by Ryan Bellis, number 43 for Zeeland East.
Schaub going right through the B gap that time and was in the secondary quickly.
9 yards on the play, 2nd and 1. Holland Christian as Cam Van Eerden checks in. And Schaub will get a rest.
Great blocking on that play by the Maroons offensive line on the right side.
29-6 Zeeland East. If you just joined us, we have 7:41 left to play, 3rd period. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, ball near side hash mark. That's the right side. Van Eerden in motion. Throw it to him out in the flat. Great block to free him at the 35. And then he is wrapped up at the 37-yard line and driven backwards. The tackle made by East. And they'll give the Maroons first down on the play and mark it at the 38-yard line. Needed 2, got 2.
First look, I didn't think he got there, but the
No.
officials gave him the first down.
A lot of the guys wearing white didn't think he got there either. They were kind of eyeing it down the line. All right, first down, Maroons. Motion out of the backfield, or Schaub, and now throw a by Van Wieren, and he is up over the 45 to the 47-yard line. 9 yards on that one, 2nd and 1. Well, if you can get 8, 9 yards on first down, as the Maroons have the last 2, that always helps.
Schaub and Wieren, I would expect Howe to get involved in the action here, too, in the 3rd quarter.
Mark it officially at the 46. I gave him 1 too many. 2nd and 2. Just about halfway through period number 3. Chicks leading by 23. Brady Hound near slot right. Ben Slink wide to the right. Schaub out of the backfield. Wireball clobbered just as he took the snap. Boone Bonema. Yep. And that's why he's getting looks from major colleges. From his linebacker position, man, he got there in a hurry that time.
Boone was in the playbook there of the Maroons.
Comes Howe bringing the play from the bench. We do have a flag, apparently. And it'll be a sideline warning against Zeeland East.
Flag on the play, sideline warning against Zeeland.
And that's their 2nd one, so they'll mark off yardage on that one. Out to the 47-yard line, and it's still 3rd down, but now only about a yard to go. Van Dam replacing Slink for Holland Christian. Howe also checking
the sidelines.
And we're in slot right, Cruzy wide right. Now under center, I formation in the backfield. Quarterback sneak to get the yard for the first down. Wireball's got it and more. He is out over the 50-yard line. A strong quarterback sneak by Wilson Wireball.
All second effort on that one. The Chicks had him wrapped up, and he fought forward for the first down.
Put the nose of the ball directly at the midfield stripe. Levi Van Dam checks out. So does Noah Hoekstra. Now you're right. Both coaches doing everything they can to keep their players fresh tonight. Slink wide to the right. Cruzy near slot right. And here's Wireball out of the shotgun again. Rolling to his right. Looking out in the flat, wide open. That's Howe. Howe run out of bounds by Fusco, but not before he got a first down inside the Zeeland East 40 to the 38-yard line.
Credit Slank there for blocking on the outside, allowing Brady Howe to move forward and get that first down. Thought for a half a second there that they were going to call Slank for holding, but he did just enough to hold the defender back.
12 yards on the play for Holland Christian. And another first down. This has been a good-looking drive for the Maroons thus far. Helped out by a couple of penalties.
Important to cap it off here.
Yeah, no kidding. Almost mandatory. Wire ball, the shotgun snap. Statue of Liberty play to Schaub. He's got it, and he'll take it down to the 31-yard line. 7 yards on the play, 2nd and 3. Tackle for Zeeland East by Boone Bonema. So at the 31, here come the Maroons, 2nd and 3.
Bonema just a junior, but like you said, already getting college looks.
Slank's going out wide to the left. Cruzy will be slot left, and in the near slot, that'll be Brady Howe. Schaub's the running back for Wireball. Wireball looking right, pump fakes and lets it go deep for Van Wieren. Might have been intercepted. It is intercepted down at the 1-yard line for Zeeland East. And turn sideways, young man. Keegan Ensing got the interception.
Number 14, Keegan Ensing.
So the Chicks have the ball. The bad news is they have it at their own 1-yard line. Bad news for Holland Christian. A good drive ends up with a turnover.
Wireball's 4th interception of the evening.
That's about as many as he got total in the first 4 games, isn't it? He hasn't thrown a lot more than that. So, looks like a little extra break on the change of possession with 3:37 left to play. We haven't had any scoring here in the third period, have we?
Quick moving third quarter.
Yeah. Zeeland the ball, and that's a recipe for having the clock run.
Soccer game with Holland High School. Come out to learn more about the fundraiser for the malaria prevention in sub-Saharan Africa.
That we don't like Nick Bauman?
Purchase gets you in the game and donate to the mosquito bed net.
Never mind. We just won't go anywhere with that except turn the crowd mic down a little bit.
The Holland Christian Stadium. That is September 25.
99 yards away from pay dirt. Here come the Chicks from Zeeland East as soon as they break the huddle across the way anyway. Now they're ready.
At last check, Zeeland West leading Byron Center 14-6.
WUPNW Zeeland Holland Grand Rapids as we approach the top of the hour. So here's Ensing out of his own end zone. Line of scrimmage to 1. The Maroons blitz everybody, and they get out of it. And if he ways, will Mr. Fusco.
24, the running back, Josh Fusco.
Fusco
number 3, Brady Howe.
out to the 5.
2nd down.
4 yards on the play, 2nd and 6. Brady Howe tackling for Holland Christian, as he does on a large percentage of their plays. Ensing out of the gun. Fusco. And Ensing will keep it up the middle after the fake to Fusco. And he is stopped by Noah Hoekstra and Evan Cruzy and company. And he got a yard to the 6.
64, Luke Trost.
Luke Trost is also in on it.
Jared Osborne.
The Osborne family happy with the announcement of their son's name, as are all parents, of course.
Chicks with no shortage of talent coming back next year either. Lots of juniors playing a lot of minutes here for the Chicks.
3rd and 5, deep in their own territory. Ensing with Fusco to his left. Maroons moving around on defense. Fusco's got it, going around right end like a white streak, and he's into the secondary and more. 25, 30, 35, and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Running him out was Jacob Van Heis for Holland Christian.
Driven out of bounds by 24, Jacob Van Heis.
We spoke in the first. He didn't use any patience. He took it around the right end and went into the secondary quickly.
36 yards on the play for Josh Fusco.
5 yards on that play.
So 1st and 10 from their own 42. This drive started at the Zeeland East 1-yard line. Ensing rolling right for a rare pass, and he'll complete it for a first down and more. Is that 9?
Number 7.
Well, there was a 9 out there. Grassman got him down. That ball now at the 37-yard line of Holland Christian. 21 yards on the play. 1st and 10 with the Chicks leading 29-6 as we go under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Holland Christian warming up a new center, 54, Caleb Lanninga. Here's the 1st and 10 for Zeeland East. Back to throw and letting it go deep. And I believe that's caught for a touchdown.
Kobe Heisinger.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Didn't think they were celebrating like it was a touchdown. We're talking about it all the way back here at the Maroon 35-yard line.
Maroon coaches are waving the players back, so I think this is going to be on the Chicks.
This will be against Zeeland East.
I didn't see who the Maroon defender was down there, but it looked like he had it. And Kobe Heisinger ended up with the ball falling into the end zone.
That was a great pass for somebody who doesn't pass very much. Keegan Ensing got that one down there a long ways. And Heisinger did go up. It was well defended. Heisinger took it away from the defender. But, Zeeland East had an illegal man downfield. So that'll negate the touchdown and bring the ball back to the Holland Christian 42-yard line.
Either Heisinger or the Maroon defender were much over 5'9" or 5'10" down there, but Heisinger out-jumped the defender and ended up with the ball in the end zone.
1st and 15 Chicks from the Maroon 42. Minute and a half to play in the 3rd period. And a keeper by Ensing up the middle. He ran through one tackle, and he's going to almost get it all the way. Actually hauled down from behind at about the 11-yard line. That was Evan Cruzy, who's making a bid to be our defensive player of the game here tonight. Brought to you by Vanderlaan Home Improvement. So 10-yard line, I believe, is where they marked that one. 32 on the play. Zeeland East knocking on the door again. Fusco around right end. Just runs right by would-be tacklers and gets it into the end zone from 10 yards out. Boy, that running back around end has been an incredibly successful play for Zeeland East tonight. The Maroon perimeter guys just can't get out there quick enough.
So impressed with Fusco's patience. He's out there, he's just jogging along the line, and when he sees an opening, he hits it and he's gone.
If you watch the NFL at all, they call that setting the edge. And man, I tell you, Coach Pennington's charges along that offensive line for Zeeland East do it wonderfully. Fusco's going to attempt the extra point this time. He's got it in the air. It's long enough, and it's straight enough. Extra point is good. Make it 36-6. Chicks just a minute before the end of period number 3 on the pledge.
Michigan hearing experts wants you to know the real effects of hearing loss. Hearing loss can signal dementia. It's true. But there's good news. Treating hearing loss can ward off dementia. It's time to treat hearing loss at Michigan Hearing Experts. Good folks with a heart for people. Not patients, people. Let's treat hearing loss in your life today. Michigan Hearing Experts in Holland, Grand Haven, Jenison, and MichiganENTAllergy.com.
Craftsman of world-class landscapes and outdoor living spaces, Hollandia Outdoors has been serving West Michigan since 1965. Today, they have become a premier outdoor living design and build company, utilizing top artisans from around the nation and latest technology to create the most unique and memorable spaces. Whether you need lawn care and maintenance, landscape design and installation, or snow removal, since 1965, Hollandia Outdoors has been enhancing the outdoor experience of the West Michigan area.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Play.
Now this would lead you to believe that Zach DeGraff has some sort of an injury problem. because Fusco is also going to kick it off. And he does. Boy, puts the big foot into it, too. I don't know. Maybe they're just alternating. From about the 8-yard line, Brady Howe. And Howe running hard. And there's a hit out of bounds called on Zeeland East, so that'll get the Maroons another 15. He went out of bounds at about the 25, but they're going to tack 15 onto this one.
Number 32 for the Chicks, Brendan Dunahee, hit Howe well after he was out of bounds on that play.
And it was kind of a dangerous hit, sort of behind the knees.
Yeah. I think he thought, maybe I shouldn't do this, but it was too late, and he was into the knees.
So that'll walk it all the way out to the 42-yard line of Holland Christian, and that's where they'll start this drive, trailing now by 30 and 36-6. Well, I honestly thought the Maroons would be able to put up more than 6 points tonight.
Yep.
But Zeeland East good on both sides of the ball, no doubt.
We've seen kind of every other week here now with the Maroons where they have a hard time getting going on offense.
2-2 on the year. Van Eerden near slot left. Wire ball all alone in the backfield. High snap. Wire ball pulls it down, throws it to Van Weeren in the right flat. He eludes one tackler, but not the second one, and goes out of bounds at 42. And getting up slowly for the Chicks will be Kynan Bain, number 3.
Heads up play by Van Weeren there. That play was going nowhere. Brady Wilson Wireball was right.
Timeout with 25.9 seconds left in the third period.
Bain right down in front of us. I didn't see what happened on the play.
No, I didn't either. He was one of 2 or 3 people in on that tackle and sort of grabbed his midsection.
Coaching staff asking the Maroon players to back up and give them plenty of room here on the Maroon sideline.
So on a hot night where we thought we might see some cramping timeouts and injury timeouts, we haven't until this particular moment, as we are just 25.9 seconds away from the end of the third period.
You'd have to believe that the coaches did just a really great job today, making sure all the players were drinking plenty of fluids throughout the day today.
Maroons have had to change centers. That snap was not clean, and warming up for the Maroons at that position is James Veal, number 57. So I think Veal is the new center in there for Holland Christian. And he's trying to get on the same page with Wireball. That shotgun snap is a trick if you haven't done a lot of it. Veal looks like he's doing okay. Injured player, as we said, Kynan Bain for Zeeland East, and he is walking off under his own power, but he's got the right arm sort of pinned against his midsection. Might be a shoulder, but we won't speculate beyond that. Could have also just gotten hit in the stomach and got the wind knocked out of him. Being encouraged by his teammates as he virtually walks through their huddle.
Holding his arm like you'd see in a sling, but like you said, let's not speculate.
Nope. So reset for you. Holland Christian the ball, their own 44-yard line, 2nd and 8.
25.9 left here in the third quarter.
Third quarter zipping right along, and now all of a sudden in the last minute it's come to a screeching halt. All right, here's Wilson Wireball out of the gun, looking at 2nd and 8 from near midfield. High snap, and he pulled it down. Hand off to Schaub. Schaub over the 50. Very close to the first down at the Chicks' 48-yard line.
Schaub with his best rushing game of the year.
8 yards on the play, and they're going to mark him at the sticks. First down, Holland Christian. And that's
one boss. You are the purpose for what they do. So what are the top 5 things Skur Printing and Mailing does to earn your biz? Friendly attitudes, principled service, honest answers, responsiveness, simplicity. That's it. Well, actually, this is better. Skur Printing and Mailing makes you and your business look great. Here's where you go to skurprinting.com to see everything they can do for you and your biz. Go ahead, skurprinting.com.
Reputations take years to build. Advantage Marine took advantage of that time to build theirs the right way. Now they're West Michigan's premier powerboat repair facility. And more of our neighbors are learning Advantage Marine is the place to trust for winterization and winter storage. Repair your boat's summer bumps and bruises. Protect your boat from winter. Prepare your boat for spring. Sleep well knowing it's in good hands, the hands of trained Mercury and Mercruiser technicians. Advantage Marine, AdvantageMarineRepair.com.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Pledge.
First and 10 for Holland Christian, with the ball marked at the Zeeland East 49-yard line. Out of the gun, Wireball takes the snap. Brady Howe wide open left flat. And Berghorst trying to catch up, but Howe had a lot of open territory, and he's got another first down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. That's the first real, what you could call a mistake, I think, we've seen out of the Zeeland East defense tonight. They left Brady Howe all alone out in the flat. So put it at the 38-yard line of Zeeland East for Holland Christian. You got a full quarter left to play. 30 unheard of for this offense in a quarter. Air ball out of the gun, being chased. Screen pass up the middle, too tall. Intended for Levi Van Dam, but well over his head. Incomplete. Lucky it wasn't picked. Again, Wireball had to drop back a little quicker than he wanted to. You have to anticipate the speed of the defensive rushers if you're going to set up that middle screen, and Zeeland East got back there a little quicker than Wireball wanted him to.
The dam was open in the middle of the field, but like you said, the throw just a little too high.
So it's Cruzy and Van Wieren and Howe out to the right. Keep Van Dam in to play tight end on the left. Schaub is the running back, and he's got it. And he will be dropped in his tracks at the 40-yard line. Maybe a loss of one. That'll be 3rd and 11 coming up.
Led by 21, DJ Kochanek.
I didn't want to try and pronounce that name anyways.
We'll let him do it.
Yeah, works for me. So 3rd and 11 for Holland Christian. See what they can pull out of the hat this time. The right. Van Wieren's out here to the left. Schaub's the running back. In motion, Howe. Give it to Brady. He's got blockers and spins and gets it over the 40 down to the 38-yard line, which was the original line of scrimmage. So no game on that play, and Boone Bonema in on another tackle for Zeeland East.
I think Coach Kuipers was hoping for a 5 or 6 or 7 yard gain there on 3rd down, making 4th down a little more manageable, but now they're sitting at 4th and 10.
The ball at the Zeeland East 38-yard line. Wireball has the play from quarterback Kuipers. 10:38 to play. Maroons down 30, going for it on a 4th and 10 from the Chicks 38.
Keep an eye on Van Wieren here, man-to-man coverage out on the left.
Then Slink wide out to the right, all the way to the numbers. Wireball takes the snap, a good one. Drops way back and then lets it go up the middle hard. That ball bounced off a couple of players. Brady Howe, the intended receiver, but it had been Maroons turn it over on downs, and here come the Chicks with a chance to increase their 30-point lead. Now, by the way, their average score in the first 4 games, 44-8. So this one going just about as the first 4 games have for Zeeland East.
Very impressive performance by the Chicks tonight so far into the 4th quarter.
I tell you about the wide receivers, but it sort of seems superfluous. They really don't play much of a part in this Derek Pennington offense. New quarterback in, we'll assume it's Gabe Taylor. It is, and he spins through 1 tackle and gets about 3, maybe 4 yards out of it to the 44-yard line. Yeah, all right, give him 5. 2nd and 5.
Gabe Taylor does a little more east and west running, whereas you'll see Ensign go straight north and south.
Right. Fusco still in at the running back. He is lined up to the left of Taylor. Keep a wing in on the right. And here is Fusco around the right end. 50, 45, 40. Fusco one man to beat. Can't bring him down. Next man is Howe, and Howe will trip him up inside the 15. That's Grassman, my bad. Grant Grassman saved the day on that one. Shows some pretty good sportsmanship and pats Fusco on the helmet as he walks by. But Fusco's got it all the way down to the 11-yard line. That is 33 yards on the carry.
Let's say it again. The Chicks offensive line has dominated this game tonight. The running backs, the quarterbacks are all just doing a great job running behind that offensive line.
And the wide receivers are getting a block every once in a while to free them in the secondary. Fusco to the right of Taylor. And Taylor's got it, trying to pick his way after a little hesitation through the line. He'll get it down to about the 7-yard line for a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, Zeeland East. Noah Hoekstra on the tackle for Holland Christian. Josh DeVries gets credit for a half a tackle. Checking into the Maroon defensive line is Tucker Lee. And checking out is the aforementioned Josh DeVries. Once again, obvious, coaches trying to keep players fresh in this heat. So Taylor still the quarterback. Heisinger in motion. Taylor handoff to Fusco. That was a belly series where he could have kept it if he wanted to, but he didn't. He handed it out to Fusco. The middle of the Holland Christian defense sniffed that one out, and Clark brought the ball carrier down. 7 with 8:10 left to play in the ball game. Post-game show has an offensive player of the game brought to you by Premier Cleaning Services and a defensive player of the game brought to you by Vanderlaan Home Improvement. And the whole package is brought to you by Mark Hopp, your local Farm Bureau insurance representative in Holland. Taylor out of the gun, puts Heisinger in motion right to left. Takes the snap, pitches it out to Fusco. Fusco runs past one tackler and then carries another tackler for about 3 yards down to maybe the 6-yard line.
Tackler number 18, Levi Van Dam.
That's going to bring up a 4th and 1. Levi Van Dam with the saving tackle.
1 yard.
So the Maroons need to get a stop for no gain or a loss here to take over on downs.
4 fresh defenders in for the Maroons here.
Trailing 36-6, 7:16 left to play in the ballgame. Gabe Taylor still the quarterback. Fusco to his right and whistles. And Holland Christian is getting into a pattern where if it's a big play near the goal line, they will call timeout. That's exactly what they do, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Imagine your home reinvented with a distinctive Clopay garage door. With so many beautiful styles to choose from, Quality Door Company can help you rejuvenate your home's appearance by creating a dramatic entrance that makes a bold statement. To see what inspires you, try the Clopay Door Imagination System online and upload a picture of your own home. Explore the possibilities at ImagineClopay.com. For more information, visit our locations in Holland, Grand Rapids, Muskegon, or South Haven.
As a mom, I want to make sure my family is safe on the road and our vehicle can be counted on. I also want to make sure that our vehicle fits us as a busy family of 5 with sports and carpools. But as a businesswoman, I also want it to be stylish and classy, bold and sleek, and scream confidence. That's why I like Fords and why I love my team at Barber Ford in Holland. They get me. They get my life. Whatever my budget, either new or pre-owned, they are worth a stop. Barber Ford in their brand new showroom, corner of US 31 and 8th Street in Holland.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Play.
Here are the Chicks on a 4th down play. Fusco running around left end. Will take it in. Touchdown, Zeeland East. They just have not been able to so quick. I think he's the quickest back we've seen thus far this season. And Fusco takes it into the end zone for Zeeland East to make it 42-6.
Certainly Shane Tagg from Byron Center was a great running back, but he was more powerful, whereas Fusco is just really quick.
Oh, look. Zach's back to kick for Zeeland East. Zach DeGraff has resumed his kicker duties after Fusco took over for a little while, and that one is good. So Zach is perfect on the night. And it's now 43-6. Their average over the first 4 games, 44-8. About as average as you can get. 7:05 left in the ball game. We'll see if the Maroons can do something about getting past this 6-point barrier.
I think we're into a running clock now, if I'm not mistaken.
You could very well be correct about that. Was some speculation that might happen, and I think the official is coming to the Holland Christian bench and informing them of that situation.
Great to see the Maroon fans sticking around tonight in a lopsided game, supporting the team on homecoming night.
You bet. Yeah, there few, if any, have left, that's for sure. Hey, great crowd here tonight. Maroons are back home again next Friday night to face the Crusaders of Hudsonville Unity Christian. We'll be on the air, we think, at 10 minutes before 7 o'clock. It's supposed to be warm next week, too. Don't know if it'll last all the way till Friday, but at any rate, can't imagine we'd have another 90-degree day next Friday, but I couldn't imagine we'd have one on the 22nd of September either, so.
Byron Center.
Wow.
Holland was handling Hamilton pretty handily at last check.
So Schaub and who's it? Howard Grassman back there. They're going to line up sort of front to back, so we might see a fake on the run back attempt. And is that DeGraff or Fusco with the kickoff? Looks like Fusco.
Yep.
And it'll come down to the 11-yard line where it is caught by Brady Howe. He's looking for blockers, can't find any, and he'll be wrapped up right at the 20-yard line.
Fusco doesn't kick it as far, but he kicks it high and allows his teammates to get down there and wrap up Howe quickly on that play.
And they did. So the Maroons, with about half of the fourth quarter left to play, now trailing 43-6. And the clock is running. So Van Weeren comes out here to the left. Howe is slot right. Out of the shotgun, Wirebaugh back to pass. In the left flat, this is Hoekstra. Noah Hoekstra at the 20, the 25. Jukes the tackler to the 30, the 35. Hoekstra to the 40 and out to the 45-yard line before he's brought down by Dan Kramer for the Chicks. How about Noah Hoekstra? Gets his hands on the ball for the first time tonight and gets it all the way out to the 45-yard line. That's a 25-yard gain.
Hoekstra showing Coach Kuipers he's more than capable of running the ball as well.
Absolutely. So Cruzy, Van Weeren, and Howe will go out to the right. They'll leave Van Dam in as a tight end on the left side. Ball on the left side, hash marks. Maroons go right to left. Van Weeren in the flat, backwards pass for Howe at the 40, up to the 45, and out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Yep. Stockdale with the push out. And they'll mark it at the 48, 3-yard gain after a lot of running for Brady Howe. And that will go in the books as a running play. Now Cruzy and Van Weeren come out to the left. Van Em stays in, plays tight end on the right. Wirebaugh the snap, rolling left. Being chased, lets it go, got it to Howe. Howe just over the 50-yard line into Chicks territory at about the 48 before they gang tackle him there. And that's a 4-yard gain, 48 to 48, leaving 3rd and 3. Down to 4:34 to play. Maroons are going to have to hurry just a little bit because unless they call timeout or there's an injury, this clock will continue to roll. This time it's Slink and Cruzy out to the right. And an empty backfield for Wirebaugh. He'll take the snap, look to his left, fire it to his left. Great catch, Van Weeren, and just couldn't run away from the Chicks' Corbin DeYoung. But that was close. Van Weeren almost broke that one. First down Maroons, mark it at the 34-yard line. That's a 14-yard gain. What a catch.
Van Weeren with some of the strongest hands you'll see from a high school receiver. Just locks in on that football when it's thrown to him.
And we have a Holland Christian player being treated for cramps down on the sideline below us. First time we've seen that tonight, surprisingly. Here's Wirebaugh with the 1st and 10 from the Chicks 35. Back to pass, lets it go deep for Van Weeren over his head.
Flag on the play.
And we do have a flag, maybe defensive pass interference. Clock will continue to run.
Not sure that ball was catchable, but maybe they'll call
Doesn't
holding.
count in high school.
Okay.
No such thing as a non-catchable ball. We had that on one of our John Johnson sticks earlier in the year. Mark it at the 24-yard line. I called that defensive holding, so that's a 10-yard penalty. Slink and Cruzy to the right, Van Weeren to the left. And here is Wirebaugh to float it for Hoekstra. Hoekstra's got it, sideline left, steps around a tackler. Hoekstra dropped at the 5-yard line. 19 on the play that time for Wilson Wirebaugh and Noah Hoekstra. Clock will continue to run. They're actually going to mark him outside the 5 at about the 6.
Just a little butterfly pass out there. Nice touch on that ball from Wirebaugh to Hoekstra.
Yeah, for somebody that can throw it that hard, he does occasionally float it out there very nicely. And it was Brady Howe who was being treated for cramps, so that's why he hasn't been out there in the last couple of minutes. So Wirebaugh with Hoekstra as his running back, hands it off, or is that Schaub?
Hoekstra.
It is Hoekstra. And he is dropped for little or no gain, maybe even a loss of 1.
No chance for that play on Hoekstra. The defensive line for the Chicks was into the backfield quickly.
Clock all of a sudden down to 1:45 left in the ball game. Slink checks out. Cruzy and Van Weeren go out to the right. Van Dam is on the left. Here's Wirebaugh out of the gun, looking at 2nd and 10. Looking to his right, floats it way toward the corner of the end zone, and touchdown, Holland Christian. Is that Van Weeren? Yep, it was Will Van Weeren in the far corner of the end zone. Wirebaugh put so much air under that ball, it almost looked like a kick. But there was Van Weeren. I didn't think he'd be able to get his feet down, but he did. And touchdown, Holland Christian to make it 43-12. That will stop the clock. Scores do stop the clock with 1:21 left. And now it is no longer a running clock situation.
From our vantage point, that ball looked like it was just thrown out of bounds. But he hit him right there on the far sideline in the end zone for the touchdown.
Great pass, great catch. Wirebaugh to Van Weeren. Jacob Van Heist lined up to attempt the extra point. Here's Brady Howe with the fake. He'll throw and try and get it for 2, and the ball falls incomplete.
2-point conversion failed.
So the Maroons try 2-point. Oh, we got a flag down in the end zone, though. Hang on a minute. Hang on just a minute.
There's a flag on the play.
See what we can figure out here. Illegal downfield against Holland Christian. Yeah, the officials have caught on to this swinging gate thing, and they're going to watch the line even though they're nowhere near the play. And one of the linemen who are way off to the left side of the play got caught for being illegally downfield, so it wouldn't have been good even if they had completed the pass. 1:21 left, 43-12 Chicks. The Maroons at least get double digits up on their side of the scoreboard.
Just past 9:30 p.m. here. Not quite as late as I thought it was going to be tonight.
Me too, considering we started a half hour late. If we get 2 passing teams together, this is about the time we normally get done. So, well, I'd have run a couple of commercials right there if I had known they were going to take this long. At any rate, the Maroons will kick off. Might as well be another onside kick. I don't believe they've kicked one deep all night, have they?
Gabe Taylor back to receive for the Chicks.
Van Heist will tee it up this time. Rulofs has been handling the onside kicks. They had Grassman out there as another decoy a while back.
10 Chicks within 15 yards of the ball here.
And this time Van Heist boots it deep. It'll be over Taylor's head and into the end zone for a touchback. So with 1:21 left, we'll see what the Chicks want to do, leading 43-12. yards away from another score.
If the Maroons don't call any timeouts here, I think the Chicks will probably just take a knee.
Maroons do have 2 left. Chicks with their full complement of 3. I can't really see a reason to, do much more than run it a couple of times. But they run it so well. Are they going to throw? They're going to throw. Taylor with a completion to Blake Hildenbrand. Out to the 32-yard line for a first down.
First down, Chicks.
So much for taking a knee.
Yeah. Clock running 1:08. Chicks at the line of scrimmage. Taylor's the quarterback. Fusco still in at running back, I think. Taylor to throw again. And he'll go down deep, and it's caught. And I got to be honest with you, folks. This is not going to sit well. Kobe Huizinga in with a touchdown with 45 seconds left. And it's now 49-12.
8 yards.
They don't throw it all night long until they have a great big lead in the fourth quarter. And then they decide that they needed more points. So they run 2 pass plays and go in for a touchdown. Zach DeGraff will attempt the extra point. I know Holland Christian's been accused of that a lot over the years. And the extra point is good. We will quit editorializing and be back in just a moment.
In sports, lots of training goes on behind the scenes. Hard work and conditioning that take place before game night, or when the rubber meets the road, well, things probably won't go so well. Hi, this is Tracy from OK Tire, and your car is much the same. A little preventive maintenance goes a long way. There's time you need to spend getting your oil changed, tires checked and aligned, belts and hoses tested, so that when the rubber meets the road, you know you and your family are in for a smooth ride. At OK Tire, that's what we do.
OK Tire, your hometown tire store in Holland, Hamilton, and Zeeland.
You don't have to choose between a college that has an excellent academic reputation and one that's serious about Christian conviction. At Calvin College, we live both of these things every day, in every moment. That means we think deeply about the world we live in, its people, the discoveries, all of it. And we wrestle with how our faith applies to every aspect of what we're learning. If you want to learn more and go deeper, you'll fit in well at Calvin. Find out more and about how we do faith and learning at calvin.edu. Calvin.edu.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Play.
Back with you at Holland Christian. 45 seconds left in the game. It's 50-12. And DeGraff to kick off. This one will come down at the 5-yard line. Schaub coming this way. 15, 20, and through a tackle. Schaub still fighting hard. Finally brought down by Dan Kramer and company for Zeeland East. We'll have a play of the game, a player of the game on our post-game show. Brought to you by Premier Cleaning Services, Vanderlaan Home Improvement, and of course Mark Kopp, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Now the clock is running again on our running clock situation, and there probably won't be another play. We're down to 14 seconds, and the Holland Christian players are walking off the field. That will do it. Your final score tonight will be Zeeland East 50 and Holland Christian 12. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, Holland Christian fans. I'm Travis Dreyer, part owner of Compound Door. When you think about replacing your garage door, think of us at Compound Door. We carry the Wayne Dalton line of garage doors powered by LiftMaster. Wayne Dalton carriage house styles in steel, fiberglass, or wood. Come see the full collection of Wayne Dalton doors at Compound Door on the corner of New Holland and 136 in Holland, or online at compounddoor.com. Compounddoor.com.
Michigan Hearing Experts wants you to know the real effects of hearing loss. Hearing loss can signal dementia. It's true. But there's good news. Treating hearing loss can ward off dementia. It's time to treat hearing loss at Michigan Hearing Experts. Good folks with a heart for people. Not patients, people. Let's treat hearing loss in your life today. Michigan Hearing Experts in Holland, Grand Haven, Jenison, and MichiganENTallergy.com.
96.5 FM and 1260 AM. The Pledge.
Your post-game show tonight is sponsored by Mark Hopp, your local Farm Bureau insurance representative in Holland. For prompt personal insurance services, call Mark, Joe Bauman, or Matt Neal at 396-5728. Your player of the game is brought to you by Vanderlaan Home Improvement. Let Vanderlaan Home Improvement help defend your home against the elements of West Michigan weather. With new windows, siding, doors, or a new roof, your booth crew has voted, and Jacob Schaub